So we are back at the episode of Cincinnati Stingers MyLEAGUE here in 2K17. Last episode, played a first overall season, or full season with the new sim difficulty that we adjusted up to around 70 to make the seasons a lot more interesting and basically special, because usually you end up winning like 75 games, blowing everybody out in the playoffs, winning game upon game, sweeping opponent upon opponent. But last season is quite a bit different though from the usual simulations. You went, I believe, won 65 games in the regular season and went to the playoffs. We won the first series, I believe we swept the Miami Heat. Then we won the semifinals, I believe. Then we went and lost the ECF and didn't make the NBA Finals for like the first time in years, though. It's been years since we have made the finals. So we broke our final streak, and now we're kind of at the bottom now. We got to go and build our way up and try to win yet another title with this one or other factor piled upon us. And look, you have Garceau still with that injury since last year. So Garceau, it's not looking really good for him, especially when he's 36 years old. He's got age, he's got injury going against him. I mean, it's pretty obvious he's probably going to retire this season at the end of it. So hopefully it's a memorable last season for Garceau at the age of 36. Hopefully we can go win him a title as last year's. Right now we're 32-8. Not too bad for the sim difficulty, as usually we end up, I think we're like 15 games lost already by this point of last season. So we're doing better than last season right now. We're number 1 in the East. We're up by 4 games against the Atlanta Hawks, who are somehow good this season. I don't know how they're good, but right now 43-9 on the season. Not too bad right there. Still on pace to go and tie that Warriors record that we broke. We won 82 games a few seasons ago, but still it's there. As right now MVP 4th is our man Frank Perry. Rookie of the Year, you have Bob Lowry. 6th Man of the Year, you have Lamont Bailey still up there for 6th Man of the Year. Frank Perry 4th in DPOY, and so on. So Eastern All-Stars, we have Frank Perry, Cuddy Wilkins, same old kind of guys on our overall NBA All-Star team. Then we have our Bua Katie, who actually makes it at 90 overall this season. He's jumped up a bit. He's played very well in his last few seasons, so gotta watch for how he plays in the playoffs. He's usually really good for us in the playoffs. Plus his overall development has been very good in the last few seasons, though. Obviously, he went from I think like a 75 to 90 overall in a few seasons. It's pretty crazy for us. As Frank Perry leads the All-Star game with a 24-18 performance in that All-Star game to get the W. So right now, 57-12 record, not too bad right there, not too shabby. As trying to go and end off this last half of the season, winning at least 65 games. We won 67, 68, and finished with a 68-18-14 record on the season. As right there, we do not win MVP. Rookie of the Year goes to Bob Lowry. Joey Brady gets 6-man DPOY. Marvin Reeves gets MVP and I believe DPOY. Plus Andre Drummond gets Coach of the Year for the Stingers. So Frank Perry on the All-NBA first team right there. With a minor injury, we have Marvin Reeves in there too, obviously. All-NBA second team, we have nobody on there. Third team, we have nobody on there again. So for some reason, Cuddy Wilkins is not on there at all. As looks like Frank Perry's on the all-defensive first team, and Bob Lowry on the rookie first team right there. And that's about it. So going into the playoffs, you're trying to go and win a title here as we're facing Boston in the first series. Right now, take a look at our stats. It's Frank Perry, 29 points on the season. Not too bad right there for regular season performance from our man Frank Perry, who's trying to go and make pretty memorable end to Garceau's careers. We need to go and win a title for him and get him a ring his last season in the NBA, because I believe he gets one more ring. It brings him to 12 NBA titles. That's all-time record for titles by a single player. So we gotta do this. We're facing Boston. Let's be honest, Boston, their team isn't as good as us, but we have injuries though. We have Archie Wells, we have Russell Westbrook, and Frank Perry all out right now with injuries, which is not really good for us, because they're like the third top players on the team practically when you look at overall. So I guess not really counting Archie Wells, but game 1, they take down 138-133 final as we lose game 1 of the quarterfinal. So I don't know how we lose game 1, as JP Woolridge 33 points, 3 boards, 12 assists in that game, double to go and kill the Stingers in game 1. So they brought the raid in game 1 to go and kill the Stingers. Game 2, we that one 1-1 series right now for us. 142-118 final for that one, as JP Woolridge 25 points in that one for them. Game 3 took that one 2-1 series lead for us, as I believe looks like Folks had a great game, but Frank Perry 35 points, 15 boards, as Russell Westbrook put up 25 in the game for the Stingers. So game 4, they win that one 2-2 series now at peace, all tap at 2. It's Frank Perry 37 points in that one, 9 boards, 2 assists, and 6 steals. I don't know how you didn't win that game, but game 5, take that one 3-2 series lead for us. It's Cuddy Wilkins 35 points in that one. Garceau 22 and 11. That game, killer game for him, as it looks like he's back from injury. But game 6, sorry, of the quarterfinals, you take that one 147-143 final. Let's move on to semifinals again. So at least moving on to semifinals, as it looks like Frank Perry killer performance there in game 5 to go and eliminate, or game 6 to go and eliminate those Celtics. So moving on to the next series, we're facing off against the Orlando Magic. They're 54-28 on the season. They have looks like Marion Dudley, Gregory, Fortson, Cole, Hobbs, I mean, their team is actually not too bad though. They're alright, I guess. As we have 2 injuries, we have Archie Wells and Lamont Bailey. They have 2 injuries, and Peacock and Robertson. So 2-2 when it comes to injuries, but we win game 1, up 1-0 in this series so far. As Russell Westbrook 42 points and 8 assists in that one. Killer game for Russell there. As right now, hopefully his development isn't really that bad since he was injured last season for the majority. But game 2, they took that one now 1-1 series at a piece. But game 3 took that one for them, 2-1 for them at this point. A 2-1 series lead for the Magic. As KD had 22 points, 19 boards and down, killer game for him. But now 3-1 series lead for them as they take game 4. And now we're between a rock and a hard place. We need to go and win game 5 if we want to stay alive. So we're gonna go and sim this one in the simcast. And they take that one 117-132 final, and we're now out of the playoffs. So for some reason we in with the best record in the NBA, a better overall roster than the Magic, and we still lose somehow. So come on, this simulation it's almost unfair, but I mean it has to be done if you win this many titles. But Memphis, they win yet another title, back-to-back titles, and Uwe Hoffman gets their finals MVP there for them. So back-to-back titles for those Grizzlies, as they have a pretty good roster, I guess. I can't really say anything bad about them, but our playoff stats for us, though, our playoff stats, Garth Snow, hopefully he holds out and doesn't retire, because we didn't get him a ring in his potentially last season of his career, so hopefully he just holds out and doesn't retire. But we took retirements. Sure enough, Garth Snow is on the list. So Garth Snow, one of the greatest Stingers of all time, finally retires in I don't know how many seasons he's played in the NBA. I think it's about 17 or 18. 17 years pro, 86 overall he retires at, as we picked him 31st overall in the 39 NBA draft. We didn't even think he'd actually develop into anything, except somehow he went developed and somehow scored over 25,000 points or 10,000 rebounds in his career. So one of the best Stingers of all time. Adds to the list in the rafters, because let's be honest, this number's going to be retired anyway. Number 8 will never be worn by yet another Stinger in his career. But you take a look at his stats though, as he retires, one of the best Stingers of all time. I think he was like one of the best overall rebounding shooting guards of all time too. But he's got championship DNA, over 11 titles, 3-time MVP, 3-time All-NBA first team. I mean, killer career out of Garth Snow, who scored 67 points in his career for his career high when it comes to points, and that is a franchise record that holds to this day for the Stingers organization. So, he played all of his seasons with the Stingers. Another man who retired though was Cole Cousins, who's played tons of years, 17 years in the NBA, first overall draft pick in 2038, as he's an 8-time All-NBA first team, 12-time All-Star, no MVPs. And guess what? No titles to his name. So, sucks not to retire the ring, but another man retired was Edgar Steele, who was drafted in the same draft as Garth Snow in the 2039 NBA draft, 26 overall, first round. So, Edgar Steele and Garth Snow, both are first round draft picks from that season, both retire. As, take a look at our Hall of Fame inductees. Sure enough, Garth Snow, one of the best shooting guards of all time, is on there. You have Cole Cousins, you have Brian Walsh, and Rudy Payton on there too. So, killer draft class, or killer retirement class, sorry. Let's take a look at our retirement jerseys, and Garth Snow is on there, number 8, is being hung up in the rafters in Cincinnati. So, killer overall retirement class, and that adds to the list of tons of Stingers that retired so far in this franchise mode. So you take a look at overall at our league meetings and stuff, and we're gonna go and add another team in the NBA, and that's the Virginia Storm, who hopefully they don't take any players from our team, because we need all the players we can get at this point if we want to win a title. But it looks like 76ers get the first overall pick, second is the Jazz, and third is the Knights, as we go into the protected player thing for the expansion draft. And it looks like our hope will be exposed in this expansion draft. So take a look at our first overall pick, which is Patrick Madison for the Storm. We have Jalen Biars, Herb Witt, Edward Carroll, Glenn Smits, we have Stephen Neely, Edgar Kilmov, Shannon Augustin, Kevin Outlaw, former Stinger Kevin Outlaw is picked, Deion Marshall, David Perkinson, Brandon Bosch, and that is it. So we have one former Stinger picked, but not a current Stinger, because our hope was an only unexposed player. But I guess let's go into the next draft, which is the 2056 NBA draft.
With the first pick in the NBA draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select the 19-year-old small forward from Germany. With the second pick in the NBA draft, the Utah Jazz select Dante Wooden from Seton Hall University. With the third pick in the NBA draft, Patrick Fleming, Michigan State University. We have a trade to announce. With the fourth pick in the NBA draft, Lucas Grove from the University of Arizona. With the fifth pick in the NBA draft, Wally Keith from DePaul University. The 33rd pick in the NBA draft, Wendell Hall from the University of Arizona.
To be honest, the draft is one of the worst drafts of all time. 74 overall is your first overall draft pick, second is 70 overall, third is 65 overall. That is insane. So these potentials better be good though, because come on, that's one of the worst starting overall potential overalls I've ever seen. As we pick Paul there in the first round, 65 overall, the same as I believe the third overall draft pick in that draft. So hopefully the potentials can do well for those players as we get up I believe the draft class quality if we can. As take a look at re-signing, I believe Lamont Bailey and Jordan. As our first overall free agent list is Rees 91 overall, Samuels 88 overall, Hobbs 86, York. We have Westfall, Acadia, not Arc Acadia, the point guard, and that's about it when it comes to top free agents. We go and sign Sean Hansen, who's not that bad though. He's actually pretty good, 74 overall, decent draft. Bench player. We have Herman Butler, who we signed there too, and another player there too. We have Ballesteros, Franklin, and Peacock. Still waiting out on Lamont Bailey, and finally Lamont Bailey signed with us. Same with Thomas Jordan. So we signed all the players we want back plus more. Let's take a look at our player progression. 91 overall Acadia, 82 overall Hope, 82 overall Westbrook. Not too bad of a progression period for that season. As take a look at our draft class next year. We got way better than this year though. We have Gibbs Jr., Lamont Wade, who looks really good. We got Poole, Norton, and so on. So in order to go and conserve overall roster space, we have to get rid of Archie Wells for a first round draft pick. Go and trade Thomas Jordan for a first round draft pick from San Antonio, who wants to give him up for some reason. We used to go and have to send Garhope for a second round pick, just so we can go and meet the overall roster requirements for next season. So do all that trading. Finally, that's our roster for next season. I guess that's it off for here. Make sure to subscribe for more Stingers practice mode. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.